it's not something that stops once the child reaches 18. You do become more of a guide and less of the authoritative figure in the person's life, that you don't dictate to them as adults and things like that. You are there for consult and comfort, but you are not. It's the dynamic of the relationship changes as the person ages. And for me, if I were a mother, I think that I would want to be very nurturing, very loving, very caring, actively involved. My career at that point would come second to the parental responsibilities. I think that that's paramount. Kids need to know that their parents are there for them. Involve your kids in extracurricular activities. Expose them to good things, like take kids out to nice restaurants, nice vacations, etc. So when a man or woman does that for them, they're not impressed by that and not in a situation where, ooh, that person must really care for me because they've done all that. Because it's a very dog-eat-dog world out there, and people need to prepare their children for the world that we face. Going out there with delusions like it's a Pollyanna novel will not prepare you for life. And there needs to be a balance between nurturing and giving people practical skills, because it's sad to me to see so many adults that do not have not been socialized well and don't know how to function in society. I think that's a responsibility of both parents, and it should not just be on either the man or the woman. Both parents need to be active, and that's probably why the likelihood of me becoming a mother is small, because I would want to make sure that the father is present and he takes the role of parenthood as seriously as I do. And with the pickings out there nowadays, I don't think so. And if I were to conceive, I would want to make sure that that man has the traits and is capable of running a household and being the spiritual head. If he's not, then it's not going to be compatible. I would not bring a child into the world in a dysfunctional situation where the person has slave mentality and their mindset is not right. I would seek to educate my children, not just in European concepts of education, but in the aspect of being African American, the pride that you should have and the love of who you are. I would also emphasize that we have a united front, that our kids don't see us constantly bickering, constantly being dysfunctional, and my children will never witness me talking down to their father or anything, because children learn what they live. And I wouldn't want my son feeling that his mother hates men and having a hate relationship toward me, internalizing that, and then going out in society having negative relationships with women, being a misogynist, being a domineering, abusive type of person, and or just being an all downright player. A lot of men that do that are hurting because of some negative relationship with the primary female figure in their life, which is their mother. And rather than deal with those issues, they turn out to be very mean people. But some of those people aren't mean per se, they're just hurting. And I would want to raise a son to understand that he is a prince and he's special and beautiful. And I would tell him every day that he was beautiful and special. So when some girl comes around flouncing around him and may not mean him any good, he's already been validated at home. So validation from other people would not faze him. And I would want to raise him to understand that there are scandalous women out there, and everything that glitters isn't gold. The girl may look like a Halle Berry, but you check out the personality. Do your homework on the family background and dynamic before you pick a person. And with my girls, the girl would probably be my pride and joy, especially if she turned out to be like me, girly and full of energy, don't take any mess, intelligent. I would just, she would really be a princess in my eyesight, because I love being female. For when we're in our correct state, I love females just for the sisterly bond. And I think it's important for women to have that positive mother-daughter relationship where you can, no matter what age you are, you can come to your mother and discuss anything under the sun. I would want to be an active parent. It's not about being in the club 24/7. Be at home taking care of your responsibilities. The minute that you have a child, it's not about you anymore. It's about the welfare of the person that you gave birth to, and trying to make sure they're the best and most productive individuals in life. And my child rearing strategies would come mostly from the Bible, and I would try to read some parenting books and literature to kind of help me understand child development and look for things that may be developmental delays, and get help if needed for things before they become big problems. Because a lot of parents do not want to face certain realities about their children, that they may have emotional disturbances or learning disabilities or some other obstacle, because sometimes parents internalize that like it's their fault instead of seeking help for the children. And I'm family oriented, so I know if I became a mother, I would read to my children, and not just any old books. I would make sure that it is something that will stimulate them intellectually and is culturally relevant, that there would be some characters in the book that look like them. They would be playing with toys that resemble them, so that they have a certain sense of pride and something that they can identify with. And I would not be counting on the media to raise my children. Beyonce and 50 Cent aren't supposed to be raising people's children. They're supposed to be taking responsibility and spending the time. We may have maybe on a Friday night or a Saturday or Sunday family night, where we watch a movie, we play games, we make our own pizza and have dessert. If kids are brought up, for the most part, spending time with family when they're older, most of them, if they're not rebellious in nature, will learn to appreciate family time. And I don't want to hog up time, because I know they're gonna get to the age where they're gonna want to date, have boyfriend or girlfriend, and I'm gonna sort of need to back off. But there's some parents who don't want to see their kids spread their wings and fly. I don't want my children to be ducks forever. I want them to be eagles and soar and reach whatever potential that they should reach in life. But I guess I decided to discuss this because So many people are afraid to address parents, and I think we have so many messed up people in society because nobody will sit there and call people out. It's irresponsible to just let the street and the TV and technology raise your children instead of having realistic conversations with your children and taking an active role in their life, knowing who they're around, what type of influence that these people have over your children, monitoring whose house you let your children go to and who you let them play with. I mean, you can't be a dictator, but you should give wisdom to your kids to let them have some sort of discernment about how to choose friends. Some parents let their kids get every life lesson from popular culture instead of being parents. They're too lazy to be parents, so they would rather let the media raise their children. And this is why we have so many people that's out of kilter. I may address it in a part 2, but I've probably exhausted for right now what I could say on it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. I'm glad to actually be able to look in the camera and talk directly to my fans and subscribers. I love you very much. Goodbye.